Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel. We are continuing on in my masculine series. Again, these are three of the main collections that I am using this month. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my little bin of boy photos that I keep with my collection kit in my 12x12 iris container. I'm going to go ahead and go with that of my son when he was littler. He's going to be 19 this year and a high school graduate, or is a high school graduate. I'm going to look through these collections and try to find anything, the papers that I want to use. I'm not real sure I use any of this collection because it's mostly, very blue based. And it's a Christmas photo, and he has on red, I believe, Bakugan pajamas. So I am definitely going to pull from these collections here. This is the Pirate's Tale collection. I like that background, that for a background, so I did go ahead and pull that out and put it back, it looks like. So I am just running through these. I'm going to go back and find that red paper. Nope. I found a pattern paper. Okay, this right here, I'm so sorry, is what I'm using for my background. It is a wood grain. Oh, that red paper, I didn't realize. I didn't see that in the beginning that I pulled these two scraps of red. It must not have went. I do have a paper pack from Michaels, and it has a bunch of, it's just background papers, and most of them are wood grain, so I went ahead and picked that up, and I trimmed down that wood grain piece there in the back, and that's going to serve as my background. I trimmed down the photo. I am going to go ahead and I was going to mat it on the red, and then when I flipped it over, I seen the blue come fly with me, and the picture fits very snugly in there. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that border strip down, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and looks like I'm going to mat my photo with this red and white striped paper from the Pirate's Tales. And then I'm going to trim that down. I'm going to go ahead and get this lined up. I do like that right there, and I am going to put the photo just like that at an angle. I'm going to sneak that red piece on top there, and I'm going to do a strip that way, I believe. You're going to see my handy dandy measuring. I'm going to put a nail mark with my thumbnail in there, then I lose it. I didn't put a big enough mark. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again, see where it needs to be. Because, yeah, I have totally lost it. And I'm going to make that go to the edges of the paper. Sometimes I trim it shorter, sometimes I make it the length, the 12x12 length. I'm going to put my one little dot of adhesive on one side, and then I just stick it down. Now there are lines on the paper, but they aren't perfectly straight lines. And I'm going to do the same thing for the red one, because it's like wood slats, so some of them are straight lines and some of them are not. So I'm going to get the rest of that adhered down to the background paper. And I am going to pull up that end just slightly because I had it too tight and it was pulling the paper. I'm going to trim the edges off that are overhanging from the background paper. Sometimes I remember to do that, sometimes I don't. And then when I'm putting them in my album, I have to go through with my paper trimmer and trim them down. I'm going to lay this piece over the edge, over the two other pattern papers, and just leave a very little slim line poking out that one side. Now you could have, I guess if you wanted to save paper, you could have cut those little pieces out, but as you see in this masculine kit I put together for my Monday series, lots of paper, and the goal is to get these things scrapped and used up so I can bring more fun, scrappy, crafty stuff into my room. I am going to go ahead and pull out a doily. I'm going to pull that picture back up and stick the doily underneath there. Yeah, I'm in the process of going through my craft room. I am not getting rid of paper crafting stuff per se. I'm cleaning up and getting rid of the craft supplies that I don't ever use or haven't used in years and probably never will. Now that strip of paper came from a paper pad that is from Michaels from like 2011, when I really got back into scrapbooking again. I used to I've scrapbooked, most of my life, and when I was in high school and into college, and a little bit after my son was born, and then I took like a 5 to 7 year hiatus, and I ended up having surgery. I had a spinal fusion, and I was home for 6 months, 4 to 6 months. I don't remember when this was back then, and I really did started scrapbooking again, and I got really into as I was home when I was bored, and so I started doing crafty things again, and that's when I really got back full-fledged into scrapbooking. I am going to take this star strip here that it was just a border strip that I had left over, and I am just going to use this up right here on this layout, and I'm going to make sure that that little piece of pattern paper is adhered down. It is a very, very thin, almost typewriter paper type thin. So now I'm looking at everything that I stuck in the kit. I just randomly grabbed items to go with this. Now I am thinking I'm going to use those. They're an orangish red, but they do match what I've got going on here, and it does not look like you can see it on the video, but I do assure you in person they do pop up real nicely. And I'm just going to use these. I got these in a hip. I used to be a member of the hip kit, and which I love the hip kit, and I will be joining that kit club again. I have so much stuff in my room that I need to get some of it used up, and it's, every month it just kept coming in, and I was like, oh Lord. I'm looking at that to see if I can get anything made out of it. There are, I believe, there's a U left, and I don't even know if I can, there's not even any F's left to make E's, there's no zeros, there's nothing, so I do see that gold, and I'm going to bring some gold into it. There is that hello right there, and I'm going to move all of these letters over. They are like the plastic puffy ones. They do stick, but I was playing with them so much that I was afraid they would fall off. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little dab of glue in there, and it's going to say, hello, my boy. And that is going to be my title, because he was super excited. Obviously, who isn't excited on Christmas when you're young anyway? I love these stickers, but I have a heck of a time getting them off the release paper. It's like it comes up with it. I don't know if I go back and straighten that, but I can tell from this angle that the O is lower. I guess not. Maybe I'll see that eventually. Now I'm going to go through and figure out what I want to use to embellish this item with. Again, I'm looking on this shade. I can probably pull some navy blue, but I'm not real sure. Which I did. I did pull it says something, and I put a piece of foam adhesive behind it, but I did not take the release paper off, I do not believe. I'm looking at all of the Peter Pan. Now this is that sticker sheet, and I used one of the banners, so I don't really know where I used it from. I pulled the teepee because it really matches his outfit. So, and it's a boy layout, right? So, you know. And I went ahead and pulled the release paper off that little round sticker. Now I'm just looking to see here where I can get some stuff stick. I'm going to go ahead and place stuff right over the photo. That does not bother me a bit. I'm going to look at the Pirate Tales sheet and see if any of this will go. I am going to grab that scalloped border strip, and I'm going to go ahead and get it right here to make a finishing edge on the blue. I'm going to cut it off, stick it to the side, and then I'm going to, this is kind of how I do it. Instead of trying to slide it under, I put it over and then pull up and push down. It didn't work so well, so I ended up having to pull it up, but I just kind of roll it under. I'm going to go ahead, and since I did that and bent the paper, I'm going to put some liquid adhesive there just to get it sealed down a little bit. I am also going to put just one little tiny scallop over here, and the rest of it is going to go nicely under that little, oh, maybe not. Well, there you go. I'm going to stick it. I guess I couldn't get the star paper up. I am going to go ahead and trim off those half scallops. And I'm going to stick that under my photo just for a little bit of added bonus. Now, sometimes I'll stick the partially used thing back on the sticker sheet and it never gets used, so I just figured, why not? Again, putting a little extra adhesive underneath everything, and since I had my wet glue out, that was what I used. Sometimes I'll add the extra adhesive with the ATG or whatever I have. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the doily just so it gets stuck down. The only thing that it's stuck down is the middle part. So I'm just going to go ahead and get some extra on there. Now I'm going to use some of these gold plus signs. Because I have gold in the hello, I've got to add gold in some other areas. So I'm just going to add 2 little plus signs right there in that one cluster. And that is pretty much, I think, believe it or not, is going to serve as the main part and the only cluster. I do not always follow the principle of you have to have 3 clusters, or, you know, I just kind of do whatever I like, and you know, this happened to look good to me with just one cluster. I am searching through all the die cut packages, and this is everything that came with the kit. There is also that, if you see that iris container to the top of my layout, that as well has items for decoration, and that little cup there that I'm going to grab now, and I'm going to see what I can get out of that. It has charms and you know, wood veneer. The month of July, wood veneer is my product focus, so I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 wooden lambs and I believe 3 brads, and I'm going to get those stuck down on the paper. I'm going to go through this container and see what else is in here. This has got flare and epoxy shapes and such, and I did grab an epoxy shape. I'm going to put all that off to the side. I am going to grab my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to, I look at the way that the brad goes, and then I cut the hole the same way. I cut the slit the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and stick one over here just to bring some red down to this part of the page. I'm going to get one stuck over here as well. See, I'm looking at which way the picture needs to go and which way the 2 prongs are, so that I make sure I make the slit the correct way. I'm going to go ahead and get that stuck down. I do not leave those brads naked. I will, as soon as I get this third one in, I'll flip it over and put some washi on it. I do say when you're doing it the way I'm doing it here, be careful. I have cut my no mess mat back there before my heat resistant mat. And I always usually give it one good push just to make sure it is flat. Here I am. I'm just covering them up the brad prongs. I didn't make you watch me do all that. I'm going to go ahead and get these little lambs stuck down. And I do believe I stick 1 lamb by each of the brads and one in the cluster up here. No reason for the lambs. They were cute. I have them. I have no idea when I'm ever going to be able to use animal brads. As I said, I do not have any young kids, and I don't really plan on having grandkids anytime soon, so yeah, this is just a little bitty I fussy cut out from the monster collection that is on this as well. I don't have any papers for that, but they were like little carnival tents and stuff, and I put one of those in each of the clusters, and then this one is under enamel dot. Go ahead and click that like button down below if you liked my video. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you wish, and click the bell if you'd like to be notified of when I post new videos. I do appreciate and love all my viewers. I have out my Nuvo. It's clear and glittery, so I'm just going to drop some Nuvo drops on there. I'm trying to use these as well. I've got a fine collection of them. I just don't ever use them. I'm not real sure that I would be buying any more. I like the enamel dots. They're easier, and I don't have to wait for them to dry. You will actually see in just a minute as I'm sticking these little Becky Higgins arrows down. You'll see why I don't like using the Nuvo drops. I stick my hands. Luckily, I fully pick up the entire drop, and it doesn't do any harm, and I can just go ahead and squeeze another right here. Bam. I wipe it on my little blanket, get the Nuvo drops back out, and go ahead and redo it. Every Mondays I will be posting a new masculine video, so I do hope that you join me back for more fun. Thank you. Bye.